Do you ever find yourself wondering why Massachusetts home prices have risen so sharply since the COVID pandemic? Since the COVID outbreak in early 2020, the median sale price of single family homes in Massachusetts has soared 30%. You'd think that with all the economic disruptions of COVID, followed by the more than doubling of mortgage interest rates, that local home prices would be down. Instead, they're up significantly. We'll look at the most likely reasons behind the price rise in this video, then quickly review the housing market stats for Massachusetts during the first quarter of 2024, followed by a brief review of how housing fared in Franklin, Massachusetts during the first 3 months of the year. The main culprit behind the recent run-up in home prices seems to be all the deficit spending by the federal government. In the last 3 years, a borrow and spend policy has ballooned the U.S. M2 money supply by 40%. The federal government went on a spending bridge during the COVID crisis. But guess what? The pandemic crisis is long over, but the wild government spending has continued. What's worse is that to fund all the spending, the Federal Reserve created nearly $6 trillion in new money. And that's why the U.S. M2 money supply is up $5.7 trillion since 2020. All that new money in the economy triggered inflation and has supported the torrid rate of rise in local home prices. Note that home prices are down in other parts of the country since 2020. So why did Massachusetts home prices keep rising? That leads us to culprit number 2, the lack of new construction housing in the Bay State. Housing starts have been at rock bottom for 3 decades in Massachusetts. The dearth of new construction over the last 30 years has helped create a crushing lack of supply that has pushed Massachusetts home prices ever higher. Too much money in the economy and a grossly inadequate supply of homes for sale resulted in Massachusetts housing prices going through the roof since 2020. As promised, here are the housing stats for the first quarter of 2024. The median sale price of single-family homes in Massachusetts rose nearly 10% in the first quarter. Sales volume was about on par with the prior year, while the supply of homes for sale remained at just about 1 month. A market where supply is in balance with demand normally has between 4 and 6 months of inventory. 1 month of supply is extremely tight. The stats for Franklin show the same story. Home prices were up amidst inadequate supply. First quarter stats for one town are based on a pretty small sample of home sales, so perhaps don't read too much into the gaudy 23% rise in home prices for the quarter in Franklin. The half-year stats will paint a much more accurate picture of the Franklin housing market, so watch for a report on that later this year. What do today's ever-rising home prices mean for home sellers and buyers? If you own a home in Massachusetts you're considering selling, now is the time. Conversely, home buyers shouldn't play a waiting game on mortgage rates. Prices keep rising, so take the plunge and buy. If mortgage rates fall at some point down the road, you can always refinance. I'm Warren Reynolds of Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, Commonwealth. Contact me for a free, no-obligation consultation on what your home value is in today's market. By the way, we have buyers. Call me. Maybe we can do some matchmaking.